Hello, and welcome to Unmasking Mum, the podcast with me, your host, Anna Bonasara. Full disclosure, I'm in a bare minimum effect mode, and we are hanging on by a thread or a pair of pants because I had the great idea of taking my selfie 6 tripod to Harry Styles at the weekend. We're going to come back around to Harry Styles. And I didn't realize it was contraband. Contraband. Not allowed selfie sticks or tripods in there. Didn't read the T's and C's clearly because there's anyone. So I obviously forgot to order a new one. So I need to have the mic plugged in because I want to have the best sound for you guys, of course. So I am currently balancing like on my desk. It's got like a little thin thing where you can like prop up like phones and stuff. And then underneath you can put wires through it. So the wire is through it, but I'm holding the mic because it's right on the edge. So otherwise there'd be no room for the mic and I have to make it higher to get to see me. But I had to take the case off, so it's thinner than the thing. So I've got a pair of pants, my daughter's pants, poked through to hold the phone up. So yes, hanging on by a thread. Life's a lot at the minute as well. We've got the twins on medication and it is an interesting experience. I wrote a Substack about that. I'm not going to talk about that today. I might do another episode when we're further on, maybe with the medication journey. So yeah, if you want to go and read about it, feel free to. But today, we're going to talk about lessons I've learned from going to a Harry Styles concert. And a lot of these are things that we can translate into real life as well. So first of all, let's just talk about how amazing it was. What an incredible experience it was. Having gone to the Eras tour 2 years ago, literally almost to the day, I think it's like a week difference. Going to live things, going to concerts, going to theatre shows is something that I have had to put on the back burner. And I think we talked about this on the podcast a couple of weeks ago. That I was saying that I didn't think like living life was possible anymore. And they are definitely some of the things, those experiences, are some of the things that I kind of thought that I just kind of given up on going to because life just felt too hard to leave the house with the kids and everything around. And going to the Eras tour, I didn't even get a ticket. I actually got given a ticket because my stepdad, who was going with my mum and my auntie and my cousin, yes, he likes Taylor Swift, had to have a hip operation. So sad for him, but incredibly happy for me. I was pissed when they got tickets and I didn't get one. I'm not gonna lie. I was fuming. So I manifested getting that ticket clearly. Sorry. But it was incredible. And it was 2 years ago. So I was like a year postpartum. So I was a bit wobblier, I think, than I am now. Still wobbly. Still nice and wobbly. God. This is going to be an interesting one, guys. Dead leg already. But I went and I showed up in full on glittery trousers, sequin trousers, bright pink sports bra, and a white like shirt thing like tied up. I was embracing my curves as I have done for the past couple of years, just being happy to be in my body and wearing a pink cowgirl hat as well. That was my mum's, which I stole because it went back with my outfit. And it was incredible. The Eras tour was like another level of experience. Seeing Taylor live, it was a performance, it was like a full on show. It was like being at the theatre. It wasn't just songs. So when Harry Styles came out, when Harry Styles was on tour the last time, I'm pretty sure I was quite freshly postpartum. And it was just not, like I said, I was in the trenches. I was in that place where I was like, I'm not living right now. I'm just surviving. And when I was like, if Harry Styles goes on tour again, I really want to go. So we managed to get tickets and I was like, yay. And I obviously the theme for the last one, Love on Tour, was like much more my vibe. This tour has been more dancey and it's like ties and it's like office attire with trainers. And I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm going in what I want to wear. So I wore my uniform now, which I call it, my Phoenix dress. And it does look amazing on me. Like it hugs me in all the right places. And I wore like a tight, really tight dress underneath because otherwise it's see-through all the way through. if you're watching now, you can see my white tank underneath. So it was black. So you could see then the detail of all of the amazingness. It was really tight at the bottom. So like I had to hoik it up when I was going to pull the stairs at Wembley. But it was amazing. And I felt really good in the dress. I felt really comfortable in the dress. But that at the time I did, it was something I had questioned whether I should. And these are the lessons I want to talk about. So there are 5 moments on the lead up to and the day of Harry Styles where FOPO showed up for me. And one in particular almost stopped me completely doing something I really wanted to do. So the first one was the outfit. I was completely going against the grain. I wasn't, showing up in office attire. I did at the last minute grab a tie and I wore my husband's wedding tie for our wedding, which went really well. It was like quite a pale pink that kind of went like with this one here. And that made me feel a little bit more like, oh, okay, I'm sort of in theme. But really, other than that, I was completely going against the grain. I was dressy, wasn't I? It's a dress, it's dressy. Everyone was like very smart cash. I mean, there was everything when we were there, but on like before we were going, in my mind, everyone was just turning up in a printed tee, trainers, and jeans. So that made me feel a little bit uncomfortable. And the commentary started running there. Who does she think she is? She's too old. Why is she wearing that dress? And that's another one that showed up, is the whole, I am in a larger body and I am showing off every single lump and bump and curve in this pretty much. Although it kind of like doesn't cling to your bottom. So you do have it's a really nice shape. I feel good in it. And that's what matters. But I didn't let it stop me. It did rear its ugly head. All those questions came. She's too fat. She's too old. She looks weird because she's not like on what trend. Why is she even here? What's the point? Who does she think she is? Constantly reoccurring. But because I feel so confident in my body, here I am. I've done that for such a long time now, like 7, 8 years. I didn't let that stop me. I went with what I went with. So I'm really confident in that because that's something I've worked on for a long, long time, not something that I've done overnight. Now, the third thing while I was getting ready, like I love wearing like loads of like colorful eyeshadow, but I'm not the best makeup artist. I didn't have much time to get ready and I almost didn't go out with it. I was like, I'm just going to go like pretty normal makeup, like nothing on my eyes, just like a bit of contour, bit of bronzer, eyebrows, lashes. And then I was like, I'm going to the bloody Harry Styles. I'm going to Wembley Stadium. I'm going to see Shania Twain. I was like, I can't just go in basic. I'm only going to do this once. I was like, just go for it. And I've got this massive eyeshadow palette, which is like stunning. So I bought these eyeshadows. I might as well bloody use them. So I went for pink, really bright pink. I was debating what to go for, and I was like, I'm just going to go pink, really bright pink. And I kind of tried to do, like I said, I'm not a makeup artist. Like, I really questioned whether I should or shouldn't, if it'd be too much. Again, who do you think she is? She's shit at makeup. I know I am. And I'm not very good. I'm average, So but I did. And I blend, little bit of blending. I try and watch little videos every now and then, but honestly, I don't have a passion for doing makeup. So it's not something I spend my time doing. And it looked nice. And looking back at pictures, I am a bit like, oh God, it is really bright and in your face. And I wore it in bed. I couldn't bother to take off at night because I can't keep forgetting to buy bloody makeup remover pads. Got the bloody bottle of my Stella lotion, just how many pads to take off with. The next day I looked nicer. I took pictures in my dressing gown because it was actually like lighter, because obviously it come off a bit. I was like, oh, this actually looks nicer than yesterday's. So that's something that I've noticed, and maybe I'll try next time. Maybe just less is more, like as in colour, but like really, really lightly apply. So next time, perhaps that's what I'll do. But anyway, it was I'm going to a concert. It's not like I'm just popping down the shops. And anyway, you want to wear big makeup down the shops, shouldn't matter to anyone else, as long as you feel good. But I feel like when it comes to FOPO, we are so easy to go like to other people and be like, yeah, don't care what others think, just be yourself to other people. But then we are so hyper critical of ourselves. Like I can't remember what book it was in. Oh, it was Florence Gibbon's book, which I can't remember what the name of. Women living something audaciously, something like that. And it's how men look at themselves through their own eyes, but women look at themselves through other people's eyes. So we are constantly looking at ourselves and thinking, so and so would think this, so and so would think that. What would so and so think? Who does she think she is? All of those buzzing things going round in our mind. And that's really sad, isn't it? Sucks. It really, really sucks. And it's a mindset that we have to get out of. But it takes a lot of work, a lot of effort and time and energy and repetition, which is not something we're good at when we got ADHD. If we're not seeing instant results, we need a bit of instant gratification. And most of the time, that doesn't happen when you're working on your mindset. So that was the third one. Now, the fourth one, as I said, took my selfie stick and my tripod. And when we got to the train station that we were getting it from with my mum, my auntie, and my cousin, I was like, let's take a picture. And I put it up, and the four of us had a picture. Now, going back a bit, I had almost forgotten that I wanted to record some transitions. Like the night before, I'd saved a load of sounds on TikTok and wanted to record these transitions. Now, I'm not a big influencer. I'm aware of that. I'm be the worst influencer ever because I am inconsistent with most things. But I enjoy making content. I enjoy editing videos. I enjoy it. It is something I'm really passionate about. And I have been, like I did film at A level. Like I've done editing since I was 17, 18. And I'm now 34. So I really enjoy it. So I filmed the transitions and I obviously got to do it in my bathroom and like in a few takes. And then I didn't have time to record the endings in my house. So I was like, I'll do it when I'm out. So blasé. Now in the train station, I was like, oh, I've got 3 transitions to do. So I need to start. So I was like, okay, I'll do one in the train station. Now there was it was empty pretty much when we took our photo. And then people did start to arrive. And I kind of like started hearing that little niggle in my brain. And then 2 people like stood, like basically I'd lined the camera up ready to do it. And then 2 people like stood there. And I was like, and luckily they moved. Luckily they moved because I didn't want to do it with them in it, really, like for privacy reasons as well. But also the cringe and the embarrassment was creeping in. And then when they moved, I just didn't even look. I didn't look either side of me. I didn't look behind me. I just did it. I was like, if I don't do it now, then I'm going to lose. I'm going to lose my nerve. I was holding the nerve and I did it. I did it in one take and actually it came out really good. Luckily, it came out pretty good. Then I had 2 more transitions to do. We got there, we went to get merch, went for dinner, and time was getting on and I hadn't done a transition. We took some pictures in front of the Wembley Stadium and I really wish I'd just done it there, but little voices did creep in. And then it got to the point where we were sat in Wembley Stadium watching Shania Twain and I was like, I haven't done them. I've got 2. I'm scared. I was scared. I honestly was scared. Sat there with everyone around, everyone, mostly slim people as well. I felt like I was just around, I don't think it was just me just being conscious. Younger people, slimmer people. There were some families like more dressed to kind of the theme, not very out there like me. And I felt conscious. All the thoughts kept coming in again. They might think, they're thinking she's too old, she's too fat, she's cringe. Oh God, that's embarrassing. What is she wearing? Who does she think she is? That was all running around my head. And it was loud this time. There were lots of people there. I wasn't at home in my bedroom. I wasn't at home in my bathroom. I wasn't on a train station with not many people. I was in a stadium with 90,000 people. Obviously not all looking at me because they wouldn't be able to see me, but it was busy. It was full. And I sat with it for a minute and I realized that I had 2 different feelings of scared here. I was scared of FOPO and what other people would say, what other people would think, looking cringe, embarrassing myself. That's scared. But then I was also scared that FOPO would stop me from doing what I wanted to do. I was scared of the disappointment that I would feel the next day if I hadn't done something that I truly enjoy and love, stopping me from doing it. And that sucked. And I did debate what it would feel like if I hadn't done it. Like, how disappointed would I be? And I knew I would be I'd be really disappointed in myself if I didn't do it. And I was like, I can't talk the talk and not walk the walk. I tell you guys all the time about FOPO. It's like my new favorite thing. I'm obsessed with it. I know, but I was like, I can't not do it. So I was very close to not doing it, by the way, very close. And then and the other thing is I didn't have my selfie stick. I got that taken off me. So I didn't have that. And because I wasn't thinking at the time, the arm I needed to do the transition with, I needed to do it on selfie mode. I had to do it on selfie mode, but the hand I normally hold my phone with to do the selfie mode, I was using for the transition. So I had an option, ask my cousin to hold it, try and struggle with the other arm. So I asked my cousin and she was like, yeah, of course. We took some photos, like, because we were quite near like the balcony at the one end of the stage. So we took some photos of each other. And then I was like, right, I don't want to do this transition right there in front of everyone. Because I thought if there were other people around me doing TikToks and stuff, sure. There are people recording themselves singing and stuff and recording the stage, but there weren't people like actually doing things like that. So I was like, so I made myself feel a bit more safe. And I went a few steps up to basically like where you come in and out. And there were some other people taking photos there and we kind of just waited for them. And then I got my cousin in position to hold it at the right height. And I literally did it in one take, one take only. If I'd have been at home, I'd done at least two because I was nervous. So you can see in my face, I'm concentrating to do the transition and I'm a bit like blank face. And then I'm like, yeah, look at. So I did it. It wasn't as great as it could have been, but I did it. And maybe next time I'll have the confidence to do it a second time around. Maybe. But I didn't want to let it stop me. And that feeling of disappointment of not doing it would have been so much stronger the next day than the feeling I felt in that moment of fear of other people's opinions. So that is my 5 moments of FOPO, my lessons that I've learned. Don't take a selfie stick because you will have to throw it in the bin. I could have put it in like a holding thing, but it was a 15-minute walk there. And then it would have been a 15-minute walk after. And I didn't want to like piss about afterwards because it's so busy coming out of Wembley Stadium. So I hope that you can maybe take that tip about if you're feeling FOPO, how can you make yourself feel more safe so that you don't have to deal with the feeling of disappointment the next day on board? You know, just a little adaptation to get you one step closer. Thank you so much for listening to my chaos today. I need to go and order a new selfie/tripod so that I don't have to hold the microphone next time. But we did it. We got here eventually. Thanks so much for listening. If you liked this and you want to tell someone about it, I would love that. If you want to tell me, I would also love that. Love to hear how you enjoy the episodes. And if there's any topics you want to do, please do share on social media when you can. Tag a friend because the more coverage we get, the better. The more people we help, right? Thank you so much. I will see you on the next episode of Unmasking Mum, the podcast. I've been your host, Anna Bonasera. Good night.